How we doing, guys? Gonna tie probably probably one of the most famous brown trout patterns that there is out there. It's a variant of William Robertson's Cape McLaren. I call it the Big Ripple Copper Kate. Tying on a hook-kamasan B175 size 12. Black tying silk. I've just wound down the shank of the hook there and touching turns. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a copper tag on the arsehole of this fly, hence the Copper Kate. Just wind your tag on nice overlapping turns. That there I would say is far enough. Just come back up the same, nice overlapping turns, and give you that lovely even copper tag on the arsehole of the fly. And as I mentioned, this is probably right up there with one of the most famous brown trout patterns in the world. But I'll also catch sea trout as well. Very good sea trout fly too. It's probably best known for being a very effective top dropper fly. Fishes really well getting pulled through a big wave, but also in calmer conditions this will also fish really well. So it will. So maybe not stripping it through the water, but maybe figure eighting it a bit slower. Fishes best as well on a floating line, in my experience anyway. What I've done there is I've just applied a dab of varnish to that copper tag, and that'll just protect it whenever you have fish taking the fly. I'm just going to up finish that there now and let that varnish dry. And I will change it out for one that I've already varnished and it is already dried. There we are. Just make sure that still looks alright, camera. Yep, good to go. And I'm just going to come back onto the fly now. Now you'll see I've left quite a big gap there towards the eye of the hook. The reason being is I tie this fly slightly unorthodox, not the way it would normally be tied. That's why it's called the Big Ripple Kate. And what I do is I use a full hand filler in the head, so that's why I've left plenty of room. Now the tail of the fly, it is golden pheasant crest. With this fly you're looking for a lovely big arc in the tail, something like that there. Just pinch that in my fingers. And just give it one or two light turns, and then you can actually position it and get the fibre sitting whatever way you want them. Maybe slightly too long, just ever so slightly, shorten that a wee bit. Right, that looks good to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wind down the body, tie some of that stock in, just to give me a nice even body throughout the fly. Trim away that excess. And there we are. That's that lovely big sweeping arc that you're looking for in that crest filler. Try not to be too pernickety with it, because when you're stripping this through the water anyway, the water's going to push all them fibres in where you want them to be. Now, keeping in relation with the theme, the Copper Kate, what I'm going to tie on now is a copper wire rib. Just secure that in there. Now I'm going to apply some beeswax to my tying silk, and the body of this fly consists of black seals fur. So just take a wee pinch of black seals fur and dub it onto your tying silk. For this size of fly, I would say that's plenty. And just come down the body of the flea, a nice even touching turns. Come back a wee bit just to use up that fur, and then tie off. Right. The body hackle on this flea is a black cock hackle. Now this is important because the stuffer fibres of a cock hackle, what it will do is that when you're stripping the flea through the water, it'll give you more of a spring back on your hen feather at the head. So just lock that in, trim away your excess, and as always my first 2 turns are around the top just to give that hen feather just that extra bit of support, and then just come down the body, nice evenly spaced turns. 4, I usually find 4 is plenty for any hackled wet flea. So it is. And bring your copper wire around and under, change over your fingers, and just lock that in with your copper wire, right, and that's your palmward hackle secure. And then just wind your copper wire rub nice and evenly through them hackle fibres. And again, 3, 4 turns, that's all you need, that's plenty. Lock that in, couple of extra turns just to secure it, trim away the excess, and then you can just, it should just nip and come away. Now there you are, that's the body and the tail of the flea complete. Now this is the business end of the flea. So it is the hen hackle on the head. What I'm going to use, instead of using brown, I'm going to use red game, simply being because it has a nice coppery kind of look to it as well, and it's beautiful and soft. So, and I'm going to use the full feather. What this does is this creates maximum movement in the water whenever you're stripping it through the water. It's called the big ripple kit, so I only ever fish this in a big ripple. So, and whenever I'm fishing in a big ripple, I like to be stripping the fleas through the water. And again, it just creates maximum movement in the water, and it's that movement that drives the brown trout nuts. So, trying to get in as many turns of this as possible. So, if possible, I like to use a full feather. So I do. And as I say, this is William Robertson's flight. It was created in the 1930s, and the Cape McLaren, if you go into any brown trout fisherman's box anywhere in the world, I guarantee you there's a Cape McLaren in there somewhere. It's that good. It really is that good. It's so successful everywhere. It doesn't just work in certain places, it works everywhere. Anywhere where there's brown trout, this fly works. So it does. I just like to tie it slightly unorthodox, a bit bigger and a bit bushier for them 1 day or days. Just tidy up the head, tie all them fibres back, give it a nice flare, and there we are. That's basically the fly finish now, bar the wood finish. So you've got that lovely sweeping arc of a golden pheasant crest, and that beautifully coppery red game hen hackle on the head there. Just will finish the fly off now. And one more. 1, 2, 3. And that's the fly complete. And that's it, guys. That is the Big Ripple Copper Cape McLaren. Thanks very much for watching, folks. Hopefully the next video that I have coming your way is me back in the hills, hopefully, for due to unseen circumstances. I haven't been able to move this week at all, but hopefully next weekend we'll be back in the hills and there's some brown trout action to follow. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Remember, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Plenty more action to come. Thank you.